It is no secret to longtime fans of the channel that trading card games have been a big influence in my life, both on and off the channel. In this series, both DemonBattler and myself will be opening 24 packs, or one box, of each core Yu-Gi-Oh! Booster set in chronological order. After each opening, we will build decks from all of the cards we have opened thus far, then duel each other in a best-of-3 match with 3 prizes up for grabs to improve our decks. The winner will receive 2 of those prizes, and the loser will get 1. The possibilities for prizes are almost limitless, including single cards, sealed product, structure decks, and much more. Every card in the entire game's history will be obtainable in some form. However, neither of us will be able to rest on past laurels easily. The ever-changing official Forbidden and Limited list, our own choices of cards to be banished to the Shadow Realm, and even changes to the very rules of the game will keep our decks and duels fresh. This is yet another Yu-Gi-Oh! Progression series. Elemental Energy was released November 16, 2005. This set introduced the Dark World archetype, a series of Fiend-type Dark Attribute monsters that revolve around being discarded from the hand for powerful effects. This set also introduced support for Elemental Heroes. It introduced the Poker Knight archetype, which will get a lot of legacy support much later in Yu-Gi-Oh!'s history, and it also introduced some new Union support. I'll take you through some of the noteworthy cards. Elemental Hero Wildheart is a 1500 normal summon that is unaffected by the effects of trap cards, which would be very strong in a format with Bottomless Trap Hole, but we do not have Bottomless Trap Hole in this format. Hydrogeddon is an aggro staple at the time. It is a 1600 normal summon that when it destroys a monster by battle, you can special summon another one from your deck. This will be good early to mid GX era, since we're able to swarm the field with these, and this will get a resurgence later on because with Hydrogeddon it is very easy to make rank 4s. And then we get to the Dark Worlds. Beige will special summon itself when it's discarded as an effect, and then Scar is the recruiter for Dark World. When it's destroyed by battle, it floats into a Dark World for 2 hand. Dark World Lightning is pretty big for us. This is our first common back row removal. This will be able to target any card on the field that is set, and then you can destroy it, and then after that you discard a card from your hand. This is playable outside of the archetype, but it is at its strongest in the archetype because it is a discard outlet. This discards for effect, not for cost. So if your opponent chains the back row that you target with this, you do not discard the card. I think given our lack of back row removal, this is going to see play even outside the archetype. But we do also have a couple of Ojama support cards that won't see play. Gateway to Dark World is Monster Reborn for the Dark World archetype. A Dark Deal is effectively a counter to spell cards. It turns whatever effect of a normal spell card your opponent activates into, your opponent randomly discards 1 card from their hand. So this will allow you to discard cards from your hand to be able to possibly special summon Dark Worlds and even get their secondary effects, because some Dark Worlds, especially the more powerful ones, they care very much about whose effect does the discarding. And then at the rare slot, we have the 3 Poker Knights, which will not be good until they get support later on. We do have the rest of the Dark Worlds. Most of the Dark World core is very low rarity. The only super rare in Dark World is Gold, and Gold, while nice, is not integral to the core. You have Brow, which if it's discarded, you get to draw a card, and if it's discarded by your opponent's effect, you get to draw another card. Brawn is an 1800 normal summon that is the main enabler for Dark World. When it inflicts battle damage to your opponent, you get to discard a card, which means that you can special summon other Dark Worlds and potentially OTK. Silva is the big warhorse of Dark World. It's a 2300 that you can special summon it off a discard, and then if your opponent discards it, you get to take 2 cards from their hand and put them on the bottom of their deck. This is devastating off of Dark Deal, especially if there was an important spell that they needed to resolve. This is the card we're going to be looking for to be able to play that Dark World deck. And we have some more hero support, which is not great. And then at the Hollow slot, we have a few interesting cards as well. We have Elemental Hero Blade Edge, which is a 2602 tribute that can be very easily cheated out with elemental hero cards later. And then gold, this is the big Dark World payoff. If it's discarded by your opponent's card effect, you special summon it, and then you can target up to 2 cards your opponent controls and destroy them. That's also a 2300 body, it has the same stats as Silva. We will be playing Dark Worlds if we get this. And the biggest generic card in this set is Pot of Avarice. So Pot of Avarice is very good right now. Once we get a few cards later on that interact with the graveyard, it gets a little bit worse, but this card is still very much worth playing, especially in aggressive decks. This is not a card you want to see early on, but you will want to see it in the late game. You target 5 monsters in your graveyard, shuffle all of them into your deck, then draw 2 cards. However, if any of them get removed from your graveyard in response, then this spell will fizzle. And the 4 ultra rares are all elemental heroes. They are Rampart Blaster, Tempest, Wild Edge, and Shining Flare Wingman, all of which are very powerful for heroes specifically. This was a big release here as well for Yu-Gi-Oh! In between Elemental Energy and Cybernetic Revolution, we had 2 side sets as well. We had a new OP pack, Tournament Pack 7, released on November 1st, 2005. This has a lot of very powerful reprints that are difficult for us to get access to, such as Soul Exchange, Wall of Illusion, and Last Will. Demon does not have a Last Will, so he may be inclined to try to go for this tournament pack just to get his access to Last Will. That will make things very crazy later on. And next we have at the rare slot, we have Goblin Attack Force, Amazoness Swordswoman, and Scapegoat. All of these cards are very, very powerful. I don't need another Scapegoat, but this would be an opportunity for Demon to get one. Amazoness Swordswoman would make me want to play Amazons, because with those Dark Revelation 1 packs we got a couple of duels ago, I do have all of the core to build Amazoness, except for this card, which is high rarity. And then Goblin Attack Force would go well in the Skill Drain deck. And this also has a Breaker reprint, which is pretty substantial. That would be back row removal. The exclusive ultra rare is DD Warrior, which it's DD Warrior Lady that you have to activate. That's all it is. And we do have a reprint set on the line as well. Dark Revelation 2 was released on October 20th of 2005. This reprints cards from Dark Crisis through Ancient Sanctuary, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm not super impressed with this set. All of the power cards are at high rarity. Gren Maju is kind of cool, I would like to see one more of those. And there are some interesting rarity drops as well, most of them from rare to common. We have Enraged Battleox at common, Mad Dog of Darkness at common, Manju reprint, Smashing Ground reprint. That could be good for Demon because he didn't get too many of those. It's another chance to get Mystical Shine Balls. The Agent of Force Mars at common. This is kind of tempting to go for because I have an Agent of Judgment Saturn, and then Sanctuary in the Sky is also at common, but I just don't think that there are enough common cards for me to want to go for this, because most of the power in the set is at pretty high rarity. Amphibious Boogroth got upgraded to rare, which makes it even more difficult to pull, and just most of the cards that I want either got upgraded in rarity or were high rarity to begin with. A Dimension Fusion at super rare, Enemy Controller at super rare, Manticore of Darkness at super rare. So there are powerful cards in here, but most of them are at too high of a rarity to bother with, and still all the best cards in this set are at ultra rare. Blackluster Soldier, Demok, Leviathan Dragon. I just don't think this set is very good. And with the release of Elemental Energy comes a new Forbidden and Limited list. The October 2005 list, we are now in Reaper format, with a lot of shakeup to the format. BLS, Sinister Serpent, Tribe Infecting Virus, Delinquent Duo, Graceful Charity, Pot of Greed, Mirror Force, and Ring of Destruction are now all banned, which will not impact our series because we can still play them at 1 copy. However, this does have a lot of impacts. Magician of Faith to 1, Night Assailant to 1, Thousand Eyes Restrict to 1, Tsukiyomi to 1, Book of Moon and Book of Taiyo to 1, Confiscation and Dark Hole get unbanned, Limiter Removal to 1, no doubt due to machine decks, Metamorphosis to 1, that's a pretty big hit, a Nobleman of Crossout to 1, Scapegoat to 1, Exchange of the Spirit to 1, and then Dark Scorpion Chick the Yellow, Marauding Captain, and Vampire Lord come off the list completely to 3 copies each. Alright, 24 packs of Elemental Energy. Really hoping for just a Dark World core. Pot of Avarice would be nice. We haven't pulled any of the Chase Super Rares in a while, but we've been making do with what we have. Some of the hero support would be good because we are coming up on the Jade and Yuki Duelist pack to be able to get our polymerizations and actually play hero. So let's go ahead and get things started with our first pack. And not great. We did get Dark Deal out of this pack, but Water Dragon is complete garbage. That will never see play in the light of day. There's a Dark World Lightning, and there's another Dark Deal. Still haven't seen any of the core monsters that we're looking for, but multiple Dark Deal is good. We are looking for a lot of commons and rares out of the set to build that Dark World core. And there's our first beige, and our first Gateway as well. Gateway is probably the best non-monster card in the Dark World archetype, just because it's a monster reborn for the archetype, but we do still need a lot of copies of all of the low-rarity Dark Worlds to be able to play the deck. There's our third Dark Deal and another beige, getting a lot of the support, but we really need multiples of the rares to be able to make a Dark World core, because its most important cards are at rare. And there's a Brawn, that's one of the most important pieces. There's our discard outlet. Hydrogeddon is nice too. If we can see 3 of those, that will be an option for our aggressive decks. And there's a Silva, this is starting to come together. We did also get another Scar, that makes 2, but Silva we really want to see 3 of. That's another Gateway 2, this deck is starting to come together. Now a lot of the high rarity stuff in the set isn't great, so I do want to see as many rares as possible to get the best chance at that Dark World core. I am a little bit concerned that if we do wind up in a mirror match, I'll be at a bit of a disadvantage, but Dark Worlds are just so powerful. There's another Dark World Lightning. That makes 2. 1 more of those will fill out our playset, and that will serve us well for backer removal for a while. There's our first Wild Heart. No Dark Worlds, though. There's our third and final Dark World Lightning, so we have that out of the way. We have a fair number of the commons out of the way, but we're still missing a bunch of rares. And there's another Brawn, and I believe that is our third Gateway? Yes, that is our third Gateway. We have 2 Brawn, still missing Brow. Brow isn't as important as some of the other ones, but it is nice to be able to cycle through cards. But the Silvas are the big things that we're going to need. I also noticed we haven't hit a single holo yet, and we are 11 packs in. Oh, of course, just as I speak of it, we did hit a holo previously. It was Water Dragon. I just completely forgot about it, and of course we get another Water Dragon. So to summon Water Dragon, you need to have 3 particular monsters and a spell card to be able to bring it out. It's way too many hoops to jump through for a 2800 body, although it does reduce the attack of all fire and pyro type monsters to 0. It's just not worth the hoops you have to jump through to be able to get it out. And there's another super rare, that is a Cyber Blader. I believe this has restrictions on its summoning. It doesn't have any restrictions on that summoning, but you can't use fusion subs to make it. But it's a pretty interesting card, and it could be a good Metamorphosis target. I think that's our first really good 7 Metamorphosis target. We would just need more than 1 Fusilier Dragon to be able to actually make that work. We got a lot of the commons we need, but we're still missing those rares that we want for that Dark World deck, and we're getting pretty deep into the box, only a third of the way to go. And there is an ultimate rare Elemental Hero Tempest. That's our first ultra rare. All 4 ultra rares in this set are Elemental Hero monsters. That's also our first copy, believe it or not, of Wild Heart. That is 17 packs in for our first copy of Wild Heart. Out of all the heroes in the set for fusions, Tempest and Shining Flare Wingman are probably the best ones. Tempest is just a menace if you can get it out, but I don't know if we'll be able to play Hero. It really depends on if we can get enough polymerizations out of Jade and Yuki 1. It also has some of the basic fusions, such as Morphling Wingman, Thunder Giant, just your bread and butter fusion monsters for playing Elemental Hero. But I don't really want those right now. I really want to see some Sylvas. And there is a second Wild Heart. No Sylva. None of the monsters we're really looking for to get this off the ground. We still only have 2 beige, and that's a common. And there's another Ultra Rare that is Elemental Hero Wild Edge, probably the weakest Ultra Rare out of the 4 Elemental Heroes in the set. We did also get a copy of Queen's Knight, which is another one of the Poker Knights, but we don't have Jack's Knight, which is the payoff for it. And that archetype is not worth it until we get some support for it later on. Alright, so only a few packs left. We really need to hit a miracle to be able to get any sort of competent Dark World core. I think we need 3 Dark World cards in the rare slot to be able to make this work. And that is not one of them. That is a Queen's Knight. But that does fill out our playset of Wild Hearts, so a hero could be on the table later on, especially considering we just got one of the fusions that involves Wild Heart, but there will be more later on. And for our second to last pack, we got an Elemental Hero Shining Flare Wingman. That is pretty crazy. Once we get these polymerizations and just these hero support cards from that Duelist pack, we should be able to play a pretty competent hero deck. But we're not playing Dark World. But we'll see what's in our last pack. Pot of Avarice? We got an Ultimate Rare Gold. That is not what I was expecting to see at all. That's a really strong closing pack. We got a 3rd Brawn. We got our 3rd Beige as well. So I'll need to actually review these Dark Worlds. With the Dark Worlds that we got 1 Silva, 1 Gold, 0 Brow. So this might be playable. It's definitely on the edge of playable without having multiples of Silva. This is our only Silva. So I would say in terms of getting high-end stuff for the Elemental Hero deck, this was a pretty good opening. But in terms of the Dark World core, this is decidedly average, and I don't know if we'll want to stray from it. But I will see you in deck building. So this is the deck that we will be taking to today's duel. I could not bring it in me to bring the Skill Drain deck back, specifically because Dark World is going to be the big meta for today, and Dark World plays pretty well under Skill Drain. So I don't think playing any sort of Skill Drain based deck is a good idea, because it leaves us vulnerable to a lot of cards that Dark World plays. So I've brought a similar but different strategy from what you've seen before. I'll take you down the card by card. I have 1 copy of Banisher of the Light. You can get this off of Sangin, and this is a Graveyard Floodgate. This is insurance against our opponent if they are on Dark World. This will turn all of their Dark Worlds off by banishing them instead. I have 2 copies of Bazu the Soul Eater. This pays off one of our big cards that we pulled a while ago, but we haven't seen up to this point in the progression series. It's a 1600 normal summon that you can banish up to 3 monsters from your graveyard to give it 300 extra attack for each of them until the end of your opponent's turn. So if you banish 3, this can give you a 2500 attacker. 1 Blade Knight, 2 Chaos Sorcerer, 1 Freed the Brave Wanderer, 1 Magical Scientist making his first appearance in the progression series. The reason why this hasn't been playable until now is because we got a couple of fusion monsters from Dark Beginning 2 that are great targets for Magical Scientist. 1 copy of the newly limited edition of Faith, triple Mataza the Zapper. We still have plenty of ways to make a Mataza quite large. 1 Mystic Swordsman level 2 to deal with set monsters, 1 Ninja Grandmaster Sasuke because it's a light warrior, very easy to access, 2 copies of Old Vindictive Magician. I'm a little bit nervous about playing this, but I do need a going first card to be able to play, and I'm a little bit worried about Dark World Lightning. If I see that Demon is on Dark World, I will probably side this out. And then 1 Sandgen, 1 Witch of the Black Forest, and 2 Zaborg the Thunder Monarch, rounding out the monsters. For the spells, we have 1 Big Bang Shot, 1 Dimension Fusion that we pulled out of Invasion of Chaos. This card is probably going to get banned at some point. This is one of the most unfair cards in all of Yu-Gi-Oh! Being able to special summon as many banished monsters as possible for the low cost of 2,000 life points. That is the reason why we have all of the graveyard floodgates, so that we can make use of this to make for a big push later on. 1 Harpy's Feather Duster, 1 Mage Power, 1 Metamorphosis for the same reasons as Magical Scientist, 1 Pot of Greed, 1 Rhoda, 2 Smashing Ground, triple the allied forces. We're running a significant amount of warriors in the deck, and this is how we're going to make our Mataza big. And then for the traps, 1 Dust Tornado, 1 Mirror Force, 2 Phoenix Wing Wind Blast. I haven't been able to afford the card disadvantage that this offers previously because of all the equips that I was playing, but I think this card is fine now that we have a little bit of a longer game. We're able to set our opponent back by stacking a card that they tribute summoned, or just some big card that they put a lot of investment into. Then 1 Ring of Destruction, 1 Sakuretsu Armor, 1 7 Tools of the Bandit, and 1 Solemn Judgment, rounding out the main deck. For the side deck, we have a 2nd Vanisher, a 2nd Mystic Swordsman. We have a Dark World Lightning for back removal to deal with battle traps, 2 Prohibs, just in case our opponent is on a combo deck, 1 Remove Trap in case our opponent is playing Control, 2 Barrel Behind the Door. We may bring this in if we see Ring of Destruction and other burn effects, 3 Compulse, 2 other Sakuretsu Armors, and then 2 copies of Disappear. This is going to be brought in against the Dark World deck specifically, because all of the Dark Worlds have to be discarded to the graveyard by a card effect to be special summoned, and this is as close to DD Crow as we are going to get. And we do have some relevant extra deck monsters. We have Dark Bolter the Terrible. We aren't able to easily make this with Metamorphosis without Magical Scientist, but this is one of our Magical Scientist targets. This will negate normal spells, and this will also negate any effect monsters effects that this destroys by battle, and it's a 2000 body. And then we have a Ryu Senshi as well. Where is Ryu Senshi? Is Ryu Senshi not in the deck? I need to add the Ryu Senshi. Add that real quick. Alright, Ryu Senshi, get in the deck. There you are. So what Ryu Senshi does is it negates trap cards for 1000 life points, and then it has immunity to targeted spells, which isn't too relevant. This is just going to be summoned so that we don't get blown out by Sakuretsu Armor or Phoenix Wing Wind Blast or some kind of trap card. And then most of the rest of these are mostly in here for Magical Scientist and Metamorphosis. We have a Darkfire Dragon as a 4, a Dragonis the Wicked Knight as a 3. We didn't get any Flame Ghost, unfortunately, which has a much more relevant attribute. And then we can still make Thousand Eyes Restrict off of Magician of Faith, but that is our only level 1, so we won't be making this very much. But we do still have the option to go into Thousand Eyes Restrict. We have Reaper on the Nightmare that's noteworthy, and then the rest of these are not noteworthy. I'm a little bit nervous that Demon pulled a good Dark World core, but there's only one way to find out and see if we can extend this winning streak. It is time to get your game on! Alright, so we're 3 sets into GX now, and we have our first really playable low-rarity archetype. Hopefully we don't have a mirror match, because I don't want to play a Dark World mirror match. What about you?
Yeah, that's a good point. That's going to be interesting, but...
Well, I think you want to play a Dark World mirror match, because you have Graceful Charity. So just so people know, Graceful Charity and Dark Worlds were never legal at the same time for good reason.
Oh, yeah. Like, I feel like if Graceful were still around at this time, this would have been the reason to ban it immediately.
Mm-hmm. Why do I even try?
Alright, I'll take the turn.
Alright, I guess I will be on the draw then. Good luck, Duelist.
Good luck. Alright, so draw, standby main. This is not a good hand. I'm going to start with Upstart Goblin.
Finally on the upstarts, I see. I was wondering when one of us was going to play this card.
I'm going to just set a card and pass.
Interesting. Draw for turn, standby, main. I'm going to run out of Mataza.
Alright.
I'm going to activate the allied forces.
Oh, okay.
I'll proceed to the battle phase.
Alright, so that'll be 3k.
Oh, just taking it all? Okay. Go.
Alright, draw. Standby main. I'm going to start by flipping my terraforming.
Plasma Zone? Well, Plasma Zone would be really bad on the sport. What are you getting?
But...
Oh, you have to get it? Ouch.
That's fine, though.
Well, if you're getting that...
Well, to start, I'm going to start by summoning out Cyber Dragon.
Yup. Sydra's pretty good.
And, well, I guess I'll run out my Azure Knight of Dark World for right now.
That's pretty good also.
Battle. Sidra into your Mataza.
So that will be 6 and 18.
Oh wait, Allied. Oh wow, okay, so Allied is during the whole time. Okay. Main 2, I think I'll just set another card and I will pass.
Draw for turn, stand by, main. Set a monster and pass.
Draw. Stand by main. Oh, buddy. Okay. So first thing I'm going to do is... let's go ahead and just heavy storm right now. Clear that back row. Or clear your A forces.
I mean, Allied Forces is a card.
Then I'm going to activate Graceful Charity.
Oh no, here we go. Am I dead?
Oh, goodness.
That sounds like I'm just dead.
Okay, so I'm going to discard / special summon
Oh, you got a gold.
Woo Lord of Dark.
You got a gold. That's pretty good.
And
2 gold?
Gold Woo Lord of Dark World.
Oh shit! 2 gold? Wow.
Then I'm gonna run out my Witch of the Black Forest.
Wow, I am super dead. 23, 41. Yeah, I don't even want to show you this card.
Finally.
Okay, I got a sideboard plan for you, little buddy. I figured one of us was going to be on the Dark Worlds at least. I will take the play, though.
God, it felt actually... that right there is why Graceful Charity and Dark Worlds never...
Yup, precisely. Draw for turn, stand by, main. I am going to set 2, 3, and pass. Set 4. 3 back row is what I meant to say.
Draw. Stand by main. I'll run out a Zur.
Sure.
Not gonna lie, being able to go without worrying about bottomless trap.
Bye.
Ooh, Old Vindictive. Okay. Main 2. I guess I'll just set a card.
Draw for turn, stand by, main. Set a monster and pass.
Alright, draw. Stand by main. I think I'm going to...
Brawn,
yeah.
huh?
Battle. Let's go ahead and hit in.
This is my Banisher of the Light. Take 200. Remember when I said I had a side deck plan for Dark Worlds?
I see.
Nice graveyard, buddy!
Yeah, that's a slight issue.
Unfortunately, I can't seem to draw any offense here. Set a monster and pass.
Alright. Stand by main. Oh, there's a thought. Does that actually help me, though? No, not at the moment. Alright, I'm gonna summon out my Exile Force.
That's fine.
And with Cryo, I'm gonna go ahead and clear your Banisher.
You got it.
And then...
bye!
and Brawn into your defense.
Get it out of here.
God. Alright, fine. Main 2, I'll set 1.
Wow, I just got to thinking, I should have boarded those out. And
Boarded what out?
I should have boarded the Old Vindictives out because of Dark World Lightning, and they just saved my butt. Go. Deck, where are my monsters, please?
Draw. Okay, I'm gonna run out my Witch of the Black Forest.
11 in.
Hit for 11.
11 in. Draw for turn, stand by, main. Thank you. It's a monster.
Ooh, Mataza.
Allied Forces?
It is. Alright.
Battle phase. Got a T-roar for me?
No T-roar.
15 into your Witch, or 15 into your Witch of the Black Forest. You got the sack, huh?
I do have Saku, though. Are you debating on whether or not to, solemn this?
I do have something for this. It's just, do I want to use it? I think this is too much tempo not to. This is a huge amount of tempo. So you'll take
Alright,
4.
so I will take... and then I get to search.
That's the other thing that's scary, but I still think the judgment there is correct. Because it just... I lose too much tempo.
There's actually one card I really wish I could have... I get search, but I can't at the moment. I think I will add my Night Assailant.
Yep, you're 1 Night Assailant, you're allowed. Go! Wow, I'm an idiot. I thought I attacked the second time already.
Oh, it's okay. I'll take it.
Thanks.
Alright. Standby main. A card. Could be anything.
It could go back in your hand. I'm gonna compulse the obvious Knight Assailant.
Okay.
Draw for turn. Standby main. Go to battle phase. 15 and 15.
Alright.
Go.
Draw. Standby main. Ooh, there's a card. Pot of Greed,
Ash.
baby.
No, you're fine.
Any response?
I wish I had an Ash, but that card doesn't come out for a while.
I like what I got, but it's not going to be ridiculously helpful yet. I'm going to activate Terraforming.
Thin that deck.
Alright. Set a monster and set a card.
Draw for turn. Standby main. Well, I need to deal with this eventually, so I'm gonna go ahead and just rip the Band-Aid off now.
Alright.
It's pretty obvious.
Come on, Dueling Book.
Assailant. Yep. Then after combat, I'll set one and pass.
Alright. Draw. Standby main. I will set card and pass.
Draw for turn. Standby main. I'm gonna run out a Bazoo here.
Ooh.
Got those out of my Dark Beginning 2 packs.
That's pretty good.
I'm going
Alright,
to.
no response.
I am going to banish one.
So he's up to 1900.
Correct. I'll proceed to the battle phase. 19.
Alright. I take it you have the ring?
Nope.
Oh. Okay.
Kind of want to play around Dark World Lightning here, so I'm actually going to flip up my Banisher now and pass.
Alright. Draw. Standby main. Yeah, unfortunately, I can't actually do anything right here, so you got game 2.
Boy, this is the first game 3 we've had in a while. Alright, this is the first game 3 we've had in a hot minute. Although if the set was going to turn this progression series around for you, it was going to be this one.
Oh, definitely. Okay, so I get the first turn. Let's see what we get. Okay. Draw. Standby main. I think I'm going to start by just setting and setting a card.
Draw for turn. Standby main. Pot of Greed?
Greed is good.
Then I am going to summon a card that I don't think has made an appearance yet in the progression series. I'm going to summon Magical Scientist.
Oh, shit.
And then
Okay.
I will, with priority, activate if that's okay.
That's fine with me.
I'm going to get a copy of Dark Bolter the Terrible, which also came from, I think that came out of my Dark Revelation packs. It was either Dark Revelation or Dark Beginning, one of the two. I did not get this in the Legacy of Darkness opening.
Okay.
Then I am going to proceed to the battle phase. 2k into your set.
You're an ass, you know
You
that?
sack this?
No, because you're attacking another monster that hasn't seen the field yet. Cypher Soldier,
Oh.
aka Soldier.
Kinetic Soldier. Yeah, that's sick.
If you attacked with literally anything else in your deck, that would have bonked against you so hard.
Oh yeah. And then
I'll take
yep, and then 300 from the Scientist. Then main phase 2, I'm gonna link these off for Nightmare Phoenix and pass after setting a back row. And then during end phase, this will go back to extra.
Yep. Alright. Draw. Standby main. Let's see what you got. I'm going to start by summoning out Sidra.
You have a Cyber Dragon.
Then I think I'm actually going to go for a little bit of Mirror Force Insurance. I'm going to summon out my Witch of the Black Forest.
That's pretty good.
Alright. Cyber Dragon into your Scientist?
Sure. I will just take 29.
Alright. Main phase 2, I will set a card and pass it.
Draw for turn, standby, main. I am going to cry. Oh, my hand sucks. I'm going to set a monster and pass.
Alright, draw. Standby, main. That's not quite what I was hoping to see. Alright, I'm going to set a monster and then go into battle, and Sidra will attack your defense.
Boy, this does not feel good, but I don't have a choice. I'm actually going to compulse your Cyber Dragon.
Oh, okay.
That does not feel good.
Well, might as well see what you got. Witch into your defense.
It's a Banisher.
I will take 900. Banisher is there. That's a slight problem. Main phase 2, I guess I will end my turn.
Draw for turn, standby, main. Let's run out a Sasuke. Proceed to the battle phase. Attack into your witch.
I'm gonna magic cylinder that.
Oh, that's pretty good. Go.
Alright, so draw, standby main. I don't like this, but I'm going to flip summon my Night Assailant. Pop your Banisher.
Sure, Banisher gets banished.
I don't think it does. I think it gets sent to the graveyard.
Why not?
Because it's not on the field, like its effect isn't active while it's getting destroyed. Like, since it's leaving the field, the effect doesn't apply to it. Let's see, what do I want to do now? How do I want to do this exactly? Well, actually, does it really matter much? Nah, I guess it doesn't. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and get Assailant.
Are you going to tribute summon gold?
Summon Silva.
Oh, tribute summon Silva, same thing.
So
that's
Silva will go into your Sasuke.
5 and 11. So I go to 7. That's scary.
And I just realized I could have finished the game right there had I played my Mystic Plasma Zone, but oh well. Well, live and learn.
Reading cards! Alright, I need a miracle here. Draw for turn, standby, main. I don't think that gets me there. Does this help me? Well, I'm not dead. If I do this, I'm not dead. That's what's important. At least I don't think I die if I do this. Thinking, does this actually get me another turn? Because Silva is 28. But no, you just get another monster. I needed that Banisher to stay on the table is what I needed. And I can't get over the Mystic Plasma Zone to Silva. It's too big. Not even Bazu will get me there. You got it. It's just a little off.
Finally, the 6-loss streak is broken.
Well, Dark Worlds were going to do that for you. But, so if you didn't have the Mystic Plasma Zone, I could actually hit over the Silva with Bazu at 25. So that's the reason why I needed the Banisher online, because what I wanted to do was kill the Witch while the Banisher was up, because, like, I can
Because then I couldn't get Witch, right?
I can kill the Witch, but then you just get another monster off of it, and Silva's too big. So, in games 1 and 3, I had this guy just rotting in my hand, basically, the whole time.
Oh, wow.
Because what I wanted to do, ideally, was get you in a situation where I could tribute something that was not Banisher to take out the Witch with Zabi, and then hit into your other guy. But I just never could find a way to do that. But no, that Dark World core with double gold, that's scary. Your deck is terrifying. And I think that's gonna even up the series quite a bit from here. So I got a gold as well out of Elemental Energy, but I did not get a good Dark World core. And I specifically didn't want to play the mirror match because I knew you had Graceful Charity. And a Dark World deck with Graceful Charity is just nuts. So with that, I think I'm going to head over to take my consolation prize.
This has been a little bit since we've done this, but we get to divvy up some video game promos now.
Correct, and specifically for the Nightmare Troubadour promos, because Silent Magician level 4 and level 8 are useless without each other, we're going to have those as one unit.
Right.
So do you want the Silent Magicians or do you want the Magician Circle?
As much as I don't necessarily like the idea of giving you more Dark Magician support. I think it would be more entertaining once, like, if you end up building that, I feel like it'll be more entertaining to watch. So I'll take the Silent Magician package and let you have Magician Circle.
Throwing for content, I see. Works for me. And then we also have the Collector's Tins from 2005, which have some pretty strong cards in them.
Which, these are actually going to be kind of important now.
Yeah, I think the prime pick here is probably Xarian Universe. I think Xarian Universe is the best card out of these. So if you want it, it's yours.
Let's see. Honestly, as much as Xarian Universe is a good card, I don't really know if I'm necessarily going to want to use it all that often. So, honestly, I think I might actually be more open to taking the Guilford the Lightning one.
Okay.
Mostly to help kind of take it away from you as well.
Okay. Well, as much as I would like Xarian Universe for the deck, I think I need to lock this up now. And I'm actually going to go ahead and grab the Dark Magician Girl. That is my third.
Yep, and so yeah, tied that with the Magician Circle, that's going to make a hell of a support round.
Once we get enough DM support, I'm going to make this happen.
I think I'll go ahead and take the Rocket Warrior now for my second pick.
That's the other thing I had my eyes on, but that's okay. The reason why I like it specifically is because it's a light warrior. So
yeah, that's something you don't see very often, so that's kind of nice.
I'm going to grab the Xarian Universe then.
Alright, and I think my last pick will be the Vorse Raider.
And that leaves me with Panther Warrior.
Alright, so that's our extra cards divvied up, so now we just have to go into actual spins.
We do. It's a constructed Dark World deck we're up against. What can you do? Constructed Dark World deck with banned cards like Graceful Charity. Probably going to have to pretty heavily side against this going forward, but after 6 wins in a row, we are back in the loser's circle. And because we had that 6-win streak, a DemonBattler is still going to get a spin on the catch-up wheel as well as the regular wheel. So for this time, I have elected to spin for sealed product, because I am honestly okay with anything on here. This set, I still have a lot of stuff I'm missing, like Avarice. Some more Dark Worlds would be nice, because then we might be able to play some kind of mirror match, especially after I lose Charity, or after we get rid of Charity, rather, because I think Graceful Charity is going to get banned soon. And the tournament packs are good, because that has Last Will and some other things in it that are exciting. And then, of course, the reprint packs is really what I'm gunning for, but let's go ahead and see what we wind up with. I think I want to see reprint packs more than anything. Get over there. Get to those reprints. It's not going to make it. So we do get, unfortunately, just some tournament packs, which is probably the worst thing on the wheel, but I am okay with that. So we'll have 3 packs of Tournament Pack 7. There's some pretty nice stuff in here. I'm really interested in getting some copies of some of the starter deck cards that get reprinted in here. So let's go ahead and open our first pack. And we did get a Skilled Dark Magician and a Last Will. There's that Dark Magician support. So I think once we get a fusion card of some kind that will work with this, I think this Dark Magician stuff is live. And then for our second pack, we got a Goblin Attack Force. That's pretty good. That's another 2300 beater for our Skill Drain deck if we do decide to go back to that. So that's a strong card. I'll definitely have to test it to see if the Skill Drain deck can still keep up with Dark Worlds. I think it can just because it makes bodies that are bigger, but I will definitely take Goblin Attack Force. And then for our very last pack, we got a Soul Exchange and a second Goblin Attack Force. That's solid. I think we might have to go back onto the Skill Drain package. And I think maybe if I go back to this shell that I was playing today, I might have to play this other Soul Exchange as well, because we now have 2 Soul Exchange. That's pretty sick. Maybe if in the later tournament packs, because I think in the next tournament pack, there's all 4 Monarchs at rare. So that might be something to consider as well. But I'm super happy with the 2 Goblin Attack Force. And that actually makes a playset of Soul Exchange, since Soul Exchange was in another deck that I took as well. But 2 Goblin Attack Force is pretty sick. That's going to wrap it up for today's episode of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Progression Series. Join us next time when we crack some Sacred Beasts out of Shadow of Infinity. Until then, see you around.